Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube and X. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. It is Thursday, September 11th, 2025, and we definitely have a great show for the people today. You can follow along on YouTube, on X. We'll get it up on Instagram Live, all of the places you can catch The Rome Show. And if you missed the show or you want to share it with a friend, The Rome Show podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Before we dive into all of the sports that we'd like to talk about today, before we bring Rocky onto the airwaves for Rocky's Roundup, it would behoove me if I did not say something, and nothing major, nothing long, and nothing too deep. But with what's going on in our world right now, I would not be able to do this full show without at least saying something about the status of the United States of America. Twofold before we get going. First and foremost, my thoughts, my prayers are with Charlie Kirk's family, wife, 2 children. What happened yesterday is so beyond disturbing. It's off the charts. For anyone to dislike somebody so much that they believe that they should shoot them or attempt to end their life is so sad and utterly disturbing and has no place in our world or our society. And if you are somebody out there that even a small iota of your being celebrated the fact that this man was politically assassinated yesterday, or an attempt on him was, you're a bad person. And there's no room for that in our society. And we are very broken right now as a country. It is very sad to see what is going on in our world. And as we get geared up to talk sports on this show, which I believe is a privilege and is a lot of fun, it just reminds you that sports is the candy store, to quote one of my favorite broadcasters, Michael Kay. Sports is the candy store. It is not the realness of life. And when something happens like what happened yesterday, it is a quick reminder about the realness of life. And I just needed to come on here and read something before we get going with this show. And it's something that I said to my team yesterday that I felt like encompassed everything I wanted to say in this 5 minutes to start the Rome Show. It's not about your ethnicity, your religious beliefs, your political beliefs, or anything else that may seemingly set you apart from somebody else. It's about the type of human being you are to one another. It's BS what happened today, and it is a pure reminder that you must love and respect every and anybody you come in contact with, no matter their beliefs, backgrounds, where they come from, or anything of that like. No one should ever hate somebody so much to wish that upon them. Please make sure And this is a note from me to my Rome Show listeners and to anyone out there with an earshot of anything I'm saying. Please just spread some love today. Take a second to pray for the Kirk family, for your own family, for your loved ones, and for this country, because we really, really need it. And on top of that, today is the anniversary of 9/11. 24 years since that terrible attack on our country. So please take a second to remember those lives lost as well, and the people that sacrificed so much, so that I can turn this microphone on every single day. So a really sad day today in the United States of America. And I did not want to get on this airway and pretend like I'm living in this special happy bubble of just talking sports. That's not who we are here on the Rome Show. We're people, and we care about people, and we want the people in this country to be better. So I'm going to take a quick 10-second break. Let's call this the Rome Show moment of silence. And when we come back, we will get into all of the things we came here to talk about. Thursday night football, some banana lines on that. I got a thought on some college football scheduling. And of course, Rocky joins us on the show. But while we do all that, please don't forget to pray for not just this country, but the Kirk family, people that lost their lives in 9/11. And I hope we can take a step forward as a nation. The Rome Show. Back after this. All right. No easy segue off of that, so we're just going to dive right into it. Welcome in, or back in, I should say, to the Rome Show here. Rome Show is broadcasting live on YouTube and X. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. You can go to youtube.com/the Romanellas, and you can go ahead and subscribe to the Romanellas on YouTube. That'd be fire, because you could watch the Rome Show live there and get all the great content from myself and my beautiful fiance. Or you could go ahead and follow us on X, the Rome Show 1, the Rome Show, then the number 1 on X, or Instagram, which we went live on yesterday and are attempting to again today. So hopefully, if you're watching on Instagram right now, welcome to the party. It was a fun one. We did an Instagram giveaway yesterday, which was really cool. Let me give you my straight off the Rome before we let Rocky get into this roundup. So I actually have a feeling that my brother is going to very much agree with me on this straight off the Rome. And I have a feeling that there are going to be plenty like-minded people out there that are going to agree with me on this straight off the Rome. So, like most people, okay, I'm scrolling through the Instagrams and I'm reading all of the stats and information pages, and they can take you everywhere, okay? And so on these specific pages, I'm in college football, and I see a little line, draws my attention. Longest scheduled out game in college football history has been scheduled. I'm like, what the hell is this? Okay. What does that mean? Like, when? What is it? What do they mean by like the longest out game? Like, it's been scheduled out? Well, how about this? Okay. James Madison University, because this is a big one. All right. You need these two to play. So we got to schedule this one out. James Madison University and Liberty University have scheduled a football contest for September 15th, 2040. Yeah. 2040. Did you hear that? 15 years from now, JMU and Liberty have scheduled a football game. Why? I have no idea. That surpasses the previously longest tenured scheduled out game, which was Army versus Troy on September of 2039. Now, my straight off the Rome is simply this. What are we doing? Seriously, though, what are we doing? Is that a joke? Is it a joke? Am I crazy? Is it crazy for me to think that they should be scheduling college football games 15 years out? If I was a bananas man, and sometimes I am, I would guess that both JMU and Liberty will have plus or minus 4.5 coaches by the time that game gets played. Why are we scheduling football games 15 years out? As a college baseball coach right now, I am currently working on my spring 2027 schedule while getting ready for spring 2026. And I'd like to bang my head against a window because it's impossible to plan for things 20 months from now. But yet, I'm going to call. Think about this scenario. I'm going to pick up the phone and be like, hey, man. Oh, Coach Johnson, what's up, man? Yeah, no. I'm just looking at the 2039 right now. Yeah, no, we're booked in 2039. So let's get it up. Let's get it on 2040. What? Why? Is that a real thing? That's a real thing. And the best part about it is we're reporting on it like I should care. Should I really, really care that JMU's got a contest against Liberty week 3 in September 2040? No. That's wild to me that's a real conversation. It's wild. It's 2025, right? I'm not crazy, right? It's 2025. It's not 2035. I think the psychotic nature of college football has gotten just a little off the charts. Honestly, I would argue the psychotic nature of a lot of the high-level college sports has gotten off the charts. Like, what are we doing here? Okay? What are we really doing here? Let's all take a step back. Let's take a deep breath. Okay? Let's schedule a year or two out like all the normal human beings in the world. If the pro leagues can schedule year by year, I don't think Troy and JMU are going to lose out on scheduling opportunities because they didn't put themselves on the schedule in 2040. That one irked me. It bothered me that I wasted 3.5 minutes of my time looking that up. And it reminded me that we are just a little psychotic with the college football thing. Just a little bit. And these coaches, just a little psychotic. Like, to me, that doesn't even sound like fun. But who am I? And I'm going to ask Rocky, by the way, over under 4.5 coaches, Troy, JMU. I think I'm right here. I'm going to take the over. But each one of those schools, it's going to flip over so many times before they play the game that was even scheduled by this guy. What is the point? College football needs to take a breather. I need to take a breather as well. 47 seconds. Then we come back and Rocky Romanella's on the airwaves. You're listening to the Rome Show here. It's on youtube.com/the Romanellas or X. Well, as we call it here, Twitter X and Instagram, the Rome Show 1. While you're watching this commercial, though, think about how you could be the sponsor of this commercial. Back after this with Rocky's Roundup. Can't wait, Rome Show. Yeah. Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitter X. And I should start saying Instagram, I guess, now, because I guess that's a real thing. So, YouTube, Twitter X, Instagram. The Romanella's on YouTube, the Rome Show 1. Instagram, and Twitter X. I can't say it more, so just hit the subscribe button or the follow button or whatever word you want to use for subscribing or following somebody, and just follow the Rome Show. Rocky, how we doing today?
Oh, we're doing great. I was just looking at the 90-minute drive between the Sun Belt Conference, James Madison University, and the Conference USA, Liberty Flames. 90-minute drive.
Even better. So that it must be a real tough path to travel to play. So they really had to schedule that one 15 years advance.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? What am I reading?
Dude, it's bad. It's not like UL Monroe trying to get on Alabama's schedule, Like it's a little different.
It's You're right though. It's 100% right. You got
Which by the way, they got on that calendar and got smoked 73-0. So
yes. It's not like remember when it was Appalachian State beat Michigan? Do you remember
I do.
that?
I
And
know.
then I read one the other day. It was like this team was paid $1 million to come in here and beat this other team. And I'm like, that's got to be a terrible feeling.
Dude, App State, Sun Belt 2-0 so far to start the year. Haven't played any conference games, but started 2-0 this year. Gotta love the Sun Belt.
The Rome Show, your home for the Sun Belt Conference football. That's a fact. How we doing today, Rock?
No, we're doing great. I mean, I'm loving the college football talk. I watched Delaware, who elevated to official D1.
Yeah,
And
Colorado, right? They played or something
yeah,
like
big
that.
game versus Colorado. They didn't look great. I would have, but I found myself like, dude, bring in the rookie quarterback. Like, let's just bring in the freshman. Like.
So Delaware football was the New York Football Giants to you.
No, they were definitely better than the Giants because Delaware scored a touchdown. So,
all right. Well,
Giants didn't score a touchdown. No, I am in a tough spot with our Mets. I'm in a tough spot with the Giants, and NHL training camp starts next Wednesday. So let's go Rangers.
So what you're saying is you're about to be very committed to the sport of ice hockey. That's what you're saying. That's what it sounds like to me.
If Jackson Dart's not starting this week and we look like we did last week, it's going to be hard for me to don a Giants anything at this point and be full on Buffalo Bills fan. Like it's tough.
Let's start there, Rocky.
Okay.
Okay. I have the Giants schedule up right now. Now, I personally believe you let Jackson Dart sit on the sidelines as long as possible. That's my opinion. And I'm not
Long
saying
as possible ended in the first half.
Let me finish. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be the eventual starter. I just don't see what your purpose in signing Jameis was. But at the same time, and this point was made yesterday to me, and I never thought about it. If you look at Patrick Mahomes, okay, very similar draft stock. Later first round, a team really wanted that guy, and he sat behind Alex Smith. Now they won. They weren't bad. I get the two differences. But
you're not competitive.
In week 15 or 16, they played Patrick Mahomes, and then that was the history. If you look at the Giants with Kurt Warner, they were 6-3 or whatever it was. They were 5-4, 6-3.
Kansas City went to the playoffs with Alex Smith.
They did go to the playoffs with Alex Smith, but the Giants didn't go to the playoffs.
And Mahomes only started because Alex Smith got hurt.
Alex Smith did get hurt. He didn't get hurt that year, though. It was the next year. But they were trying to keep Mahomes on the shelf as long as possible.
Well, yeah, and I told you this last week. I'm cool with Jackson Dart on the shelf if we're winning games. But that ended in 1.5 of football. That is bad for Russell Wilson.
Do you really think that that's how bad the Giants will be with Russell Wilson all year? Like, you think game one was what the Giants are with Russell Wilson?
He has zero inability to spark any life in a bad play. He threw the ball away, I think, more than he actually hit a wide receiver.
You might be right about that.
And you know what? If the offensive line is going to play bad, then put their job on the line with the franchise in jeopardy at the helm, and put a little spark under their fire. And can we play every player? What happens
if you play Jackson Dart this early and he just is atrocious and it's over? Do you have Daniel Jones 2.0?
It doesn't. It's not about it. your level of atrocity has to have a limit. There is how we looked against the Commanders, which was a JV football team who didn't know we'll keep it clean. And you have fighting to win, scoring touchdowns in the game, losing in heartbreaking fashion.
So let me ask you this. You're giving
We
no hope.
need fight.
Yes, we do. We need fight. The G-men need fight. That's why I would play Jameis. Am I crazy here? And maybe he was so bad in training camp, he deserves to be the third string quarterback. But if what you just said, guy that brings juice to the ball club, guy that fights,
fine. You want to play Jameis? Fine. But why would you start Jackson Dart in week 3 if it is a flop again?
So why wouldn't you? Is that what you're saying?
No. My point is you've got Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs coming to your home building Sunday night, week 3.
Right. Yes.
If Jackson Dart's starting that game, he should play versus the Cowboys and get a little bit of experience before that happens.
I don't disagree with you because starting a rookie on Sunday Night Football against a team that's won 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years
in their home stadium
is probably not a great idea. I don't know if there's a spot on the schedule that really necessarily Giants have a tough schedule, Rock. There's no way around it, right?
I know they have the hardest schedule in the league.
Right. So I don't think that you can necessarily pinpoint this thing and say, oh, it's going to be right here. We put him in. I think that's why I go to Jameis, because if the plan for 6 months was we got to get through a lot of this season with Jackson on the sideline, see what we have in these 2 guys, and then eventually turn the keys over, why then would we not stick with that plan? Because, and I agree with you, it's going to be Jackson Dart at some point in time. But you see the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Eagles, and the Broncos are 5 of your next 6 teams. Those are not just good teams that are competing for a Super Bowl. Those are really, really good defenses. But when you flip the script and you go to the backside of the schedule, though your schedule is still hard, you have the Bears on there, the 49ers who look like a burn victim unit. You have the Lions who, I don't know, after week 1, if you were taking stock in week 1, could maybe be not as good as last year. The Patriots, you know what I'm saying? The Raiders, the Cowboys, who at that point in time could be like they were last year, 5-12. So I just see a complete, though the schedule's hard, Rock. Tell me if I'm crazy. Just that's how I'm looking at it. Well, at some point in time,
I'm not going to fight you on if it's Jackson Dart or Jameis Winston. It is obvious it can't be Russell Wilson.
And that's the point, I think.
That is the problem.
That's the point. It's less about the other 2 and more about that guy. Yeah.
He's not the one who's like willing the team out of the funk that they're in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Like you look at how everyone reacted to Josh Allen's performance on Sunday night.
Yeah.
The entire team, the defense, dude, and Josh, if it wasn't for Josh, we wouldn't have been able to even hold him. Like, okay, well, you've got Malik Neighbors, who's a wide receiver who really can't control when the ball comes to him at the end of the day.
Right.
If he's going to get doubled, he's getting doubled. He can't, no matter how good he runs a route, he's got to break 2 ankles before he can get open.
Right.
He can only do so much. You've got a rookie in Cam Scatterbo who's generating more like fire on the offense, and he's touching the ball 5 times than the guy who's literally leading the offense.
You're right, though. You're 100%
so
right.
If Jameis Winston is going to give the spark and the fight that we need to stay competitive and score a touchdown, then cool, I'm for that too. Because it's not about if it's Jackson Dart or Jameis Winston. It's about who's going to bring the most energy and who has 0 to lose by losing, right? And they're going to just fight because they know that they have to, because they have a different mindset. But like what we saw from Russell Wilson is not good.
Talking about bringing the energy, Rocky is bringing the energy today on his Roundup. We are broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter X, and Instagram. Twitter X and Instagram, The Rome Show 1, YouTube, The Romanellas. Hopefully this weekend, the G-men can make some adjustments. I don't think the Cowboys are one of those daunting teams, Rock, that they cannot beat before we go deeper into the Roundup.
No, but they are a team that can make you feel like your season's over.
I agree with that. You know, and I think
If you play the way you played versus Washington, and you give Dallas life after their tough start, and by the way, Dallas should be feeling good coming into this game.
I agree.
If
They
I'm
played
Dallas,
well. They played
I
really
just
well
gave the
opening night.
former Super Bowl champs a run. If it wasn't for the lightning storm, I could be like, hey, maybe we were in a better spot. We didn't come back after the break very good. Whatever they want to say. But I've got positive talk in that locker room.
I
Dude,
couldn't
we're
agree
good.
more. I
We're
couldn't
good.
agree
Let's
more.
smoke the Giants. Let's get back on track and let's rock.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
agree.
saying.
I said I think I might have said it last week, Rocky, or this week during the slowest 3 minutes in football history on Tuesday. I think I said that Brian Schottenheimer in one game gave me the belief that he could be a good head football coach just by the way that team came out. And the same way you just rated the Giants, like energy, effort, the way it looked. That's how I'd rate the Cowboys on day one. Like I'd give
That's
them
what
an
I'm saying.
A plus after what went on for the whole summer and the week
Dude,
leading up with Mika Parsons, dude. A plus, A
no
plus.
doubt. And they battled.
All right, Rock.
They battled.
Can I stay in the NFC East really quickly? Because I know you're going to want to get to the NHL, and I know you're going to want to get to the Mets and maybe a little NASCAR before we leave here today. But as you know, on Thursday morning, we do a Thursday night football preview, and it is week 2 of the National Football League season. And I wanted to do the Thursday night preview with you this week because
Let's do it.
one of the two teams is obviously in the NFC East. That's the Washington Commanders. And the other is the Green Bay Packers, who have been talked about so much in the last 2 weeks. I feel like for a day of the year, Rocky, where we usually get terrible games, like Thursday is usually like bottom
I
of
wish
the
this
barrel
game was
football.
Sunday at 4:15.
Same. The last two. I wish last week's Thursday, and I wish this week's Thursday. The only Thursday I think is going to be terrible is anytime the Dolphins play, but I digress. We're not going to get we're not going to get into that. Give me your initial thoughts on the Commanders and the Packers. And Rocky, I love this is a very talking head thing of me to do, but I got to do it. Could this be an NFC Championship preview later down the line?
I actually think it could be an NFC Championship preview if the Packers aren't pretenders, which I don't think that they are. It's funny. I was talking about Packers Lions before last week and was like, no, Lions aren't that good. They lost a lot of guys, and I was like, nah, dude, I'm a big believer in the Lions. Like, I don't know anything. I just love them when they win, right? And then the Packers and just swept the floor with them. And by the way. And we're talking about quarterbacks. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. It has been a system that has been successful in Green Bay forever. I love the comparison that when Aaron Rodgers was 27, he got, I can't remember who the player was. I think it was Reggie White, and then they won a Super Bowl. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers got someone, I can't remember who it was, but then he won a Super Bowl at 27
Adams.
years old.
Devontae
That's
Adams?
right. And then,
no?
It's a defensive guy.
Yeah. Charles Woodson. I don't know.
No. Clay Matthews. It's probably Clay Matthews is my guess.
AJ Hawk. Okay.
And now Jordan Love just got Micah Parsons, and he's 27 years old. Like these parallels in Green Bay are great. However, it was not the Washington Commanders offense that impressed me on Sunday versus the Giants. It was their defense.
Yeah.
And they did and I am going to I will pick this game on what I thought I saw from the Commanders defense. Now, again, I am publicly letting everyone know, and I've always done this. I've realized in the modern era, I know nothing about football because I don't understand it at this point in my life.
This is great. Great point.
What I believe I saw from the Commanders defense was really good. And I'm going to pick the Commanders defense to win and beat the Green Bay Packers tonight on Thursday Night Football.
Well, I love that. And by the way, right now, the Packers are favored in this game by 3.5 points. The win probability is essentially 60-40, swinging in favor of the Packers. Now, there's a lot of possibility, Rocky, for this game to be 10-9 or this game to be like the Bills and the Ravens last week, 41-40. Like I could see it going either way. I think of the two teams coming in here, I have after week 1 less question marks about who the Packers can be consistently long-term. Like for me, the Commanders, and maybe it's just the way they play the Giants, but for some reason they still give me that pause that it's like, are they fully there yet? They're
Jaden
still,
Daniels was inaccurate.
right, and they're still integrating Deebo Samuel into that offense. Plus, they added that new running back who has like 5 names. I'm not even going to pretend to try and say right now. So all of that you put into the mixing bowl, and it makes sense as to why Green Bay would be favored in this game by 3.5, especially at home. So I'm going to go the other way, Rocky. Okay. I'm going to go the way of Green Bay. I mean, Washington's going to cover the 3.5, but I think Green Bay is going to win. I really do see another version of what we witnessed over the weekend between the Ravens and the Bills. And I think that's the type of year we're set up for in the National Football League to finish. Why I love this matchup, why I love last Thursday, why I think this season is going to be fun. There's no New England Patriots from 2002 to 2022 or whatever. I know the Eagles are really good, Rocky, but I don't see them as above and beyond so much better than everyone else that they can't get beat and that they're definitely a shoe-in to go back to the Super Bowl. And that's why I'm so excited about this season.
No, season looks great. And I'll say this about the Commanders. Deebo Samuel looked like a perfect fit.
Yeah, it was
He looked great. They used him well. They used him in the backfield. They used him on the obviously as a wide receiver. But the difference between the confidence in the Commanders and the confidence in the Packers was accuracy by Jaden Daniels.
Sure.
If you go back and watch the film from the game on Sunday, you will see that he missed, I want to say it was 4 passes to wide open guys. And then they had an overturned call on a dropped ball that was inconclusive on 4th down. I would argue that if he hit those passes, the Giants would have lost by another 24 points.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Now, you watch that game deeper than me because you're a Giants fan, but don't you see what I'm saying by the Commanders offense still gives you like a little, like it's stupid. It shouldn't. It should. With Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel,
sophomore quarterback.
And that's the other thing. Like the Denver Broncos give me a little bit of pause right now. Like I think week 1's a liar, so I don't put that much stock in it. But at the same time, it's not like it's all false. You know, it's like there's got to be somewhere is the truth. And I'm like, well, I was high on Bo Nix going into year 3 for him. I was high on the Denver Broncos going into year 2 of this iteration of the Broncos. Like I was high on, and should I not feel that way? And it's like the same thing with the Commanders, like to your point. And I couldn't pinpoint it. You pinpointed it for me. There were plays that were left on the field that right now I'm going to chalk up to that being week 1. I mean that honestly. I'm not going to say that that's Jaden Daniels sophomore slump or the camp. I'm going to chalk it up to week 1. But if in week 4 we're still having the same conversation, week 5 same conversation, Rocky, I then can't believe in this team as much. Whereas Green Bay, week 1 immediately feels like they're going to be this good all year.
And Jordan Love's been pretty consistent through his first 3 years, so that's probably helped that.
How about that draft pick, by the way? Okay,
how about
who the hell? Like I think if you go back to the Rome Show podcast, then I probably not screaming and yelling because I never really scream and yell at these people unless they do dumb things. Their decisions can always be dumb. I was like, Jordan Love, hey,
listen, all I know is that, you know what I'll be yelling about? This is why we should never listen to Paul Feinbaum and Mel Kiper Jr. because they don't know anything. They literally know nothing about sports.
So
they know nothing about football. They know less about. At this point, I could do their job.
It's Rocky's Roundup here on the Rome Show. We're having a blast. It is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. Through all the fun, through all the enjoyment, take some time, go back to the beginning of the show. We started this show with the seriousness of the world. And Rock, I just wanted to say quickly, everybody, just take a second to remember and have a moment to think about the people that lost their lives 24 years ago in the terrible September 11th attack. All of those people never forgotten. Absolutely never forgotten. You're listening to the Rome Show here on YouTube, X, and Instagram. We are doing Rocky's Roundup, which I hope people have realized has started to shapeshift into multiple days of the week. So you got to tune in daily to make sure you know what day Rocky's getting on the airwaves, and you can get all the information from him. Rocky, we have 5 minutes remaining in this show with which we are going to give you the floor and let you finish up your roundup here on the Rome Show. Do your thing.
There is rookie camp in the NHL has started. There are
Ooh.
10 different rookie tournaments that'll be played over the course of the next week where you can see all of your future NHL stars, which is exciting. Training camp officially starts next Wednesday, September 17th. HBD to me and to the NHL. Uh,
It's
uh,
good
uh,
stuff.
yeah, love it. Excited to see what comes out of that. We've got the Olympics this year. I think it's going to be a great NHL season. That's all I will say there.
Real
The
quickly,
new,
before you
yep,
keep going, for the National Hockey League, when it comes to the Olympics, they take a break in the season, correct? There's no All-Star game
two,
this year.
two week break in February. No All Star game this year.
I think that's genius.
Well, yeah, there's no reason to have an All Star game when all the All Stars are at the Olympics.
I can't wait. We're gonna be getting into that roster soon. We'll make sure Rocky breaks down the United States roster. You can continue.
Very excited about it. Love that Patrick Kane was at camp. I think his veteran presence should definitely be on that team. Next up, the New York Metropolitans. I saw a
Ugh.
statistic yesterday that they are the worst team over the last 3 months in baseball, or at least the worst playoff team. And it
5 straight
is
losses. Ugh.
it is I feel like I'm trying to be positive based on the fact that there are so many good things that have happened from a individual player standpoint on the Mets. And I'm chalking it up to us just in our inability to put it together consistently as a unit. But the hype going into the rookie starts and the hype going into the pitching staff this year, and then to see most pitchers ever used in baseball, terrible ERA, and you're just like, maybe this isn't the way we should be managing our pitchers. And I can look to the clutch hitting and I can look to all that, but it starts and ends on the hill, and there's something being mismanaged with the way we're throwing the baseball.
I am really saddened by the state of the New York Mets right now, Rocky. And it really is less about the fact that they're in another 5-game losing streak, their third one of the season, and it feels like the same story for the third time this year. For me, it's like, when do we get over this hill? Like, we finally got the new ownership group. We finally started spending money on players. We finally started getting to the point where we were predicted to be what we wanted to be. We finally started, well, I guess last year kind of played like it. I think
MVP caliber season from your number one guy.
Yeah, and now it's like we're back to this, man. I hope we make the playoffs. And boy, could this team go on a run. And it's like, dude, no. This team was not built to be a wild card team, let alone the third wild card team. Rocky and I could put a team together right now. And due to the rules of Major League Baseball, we would be competing for a playoff spot for the first 100 games of the year. Because 60% of the league makes the playoffs. So that is not like good.
It's not good enough.
That's not
just
good.
not good enough.
And it just doesn't change, man. I know.
And if you do get hot, and let's say you win, you could, and they are so streaky that, yeah, okay, good. Round 1, round 2, and NLCS, and they're going to get swept.
Yep. And they're going to have to go to LA.
They're not going to go to game 7. They're not going to go to game
lose.
7. They're not going to lose tragically in the bottom of the ninth where we're all believers in the year and we can't wait till next season. No, they're getting swept.
And you know what's going to piss me off, by the way? When they make the run to the NLCS, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. Now I got to be happy again. Like, I can't take this. It's
no, then they're going to have a moment, and then we're all going to go back to what's his face, and we're all going to say, no, they are who we said they were.
Yeah, they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. All right. No, the Mets,
So
man. I can throw this microphone right now.
Man, I tell you what, if you wanna understand the roller coaster of being a fan, you should just watch me on this show and talk about the Mets over the last 3 times I've been on. Because 3 weeks ago, I was like, "We're back.
Yeah.
We're gonna be awesome."
I love them.
No.
They're great. No, and honestly, starting from March when you were hype about Juan Soto and all that good jazz too. I mean, it would be a
killing
Netflix
me.
documentary. All right.
Killing me.
Final minute.
All eyes on Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend. Hendricks needs to come up big. I told you it last week, and they came up short.
Yeah, they did.
And Denny Hamlin, who I think it's finally Denny Hamlin. I really think it's Denny Hamlin's year.
You've been saying this for a few months now.
Dude, I'm saying I think it's Denny Hamlin's year. Big win by Chase Briscoe week 1 of the playoffs. Denny Hamlin pretty much wire to wire last week. Kyle Larson and the Hendricks Motorsports cars need to have a day in Bristol. And it's a night race. It's a night weekend. We're under the lights. It's the fastest track. It's the track that produces a ton of accidents. It's gonna be bananas. All eyes on the Hendricks Motorsports this weekend.
Ba 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 na na.
Oh, and by the way, if you were wondering, Denny Hamlin only led 75 of 240 laps last weekend. So it's not like it was an unbelievably dominating performance. But Rocky, if you watch that Netflix documentary on NASCAR, there's a few moments where he talks about how he races to try and see what's about to happen and not like try and be the most aggressive. And there's been a lot of times in his career where that hasn't worked out in his favor because, well, maybe the crash didn't happen or he should have been pushing the tempo. And so it sometimes takes the stars to align for guys like that. And it looks to me like he's not only racing smart, but he is pushing the tempo. He can clearly see his clock is ticking out. And by the way, he's in a lawsuit with NASCAR. So I think it's like he'd probably love to win the championship this year. That'd be unbelievable.
There's a guy that just needs to shut the mind off and race,
And
right?
go.
Like, don't
100%.
think, just race. Gotta love it. But excited about NASCAR. And I think my final thought is we may need to set aside some research and pay attention to the generational talent that just comes through the sport of tennis at the same clip. Because what we're seeing from Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alvarez is what we saw from Novak Djokovic and Rafa Nadal. And then like before that, Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras. And before that, like the generational like domination of tennis just comes in waves and it's impressive.
Yeah.
And that's my send off.
That is fantastic stuff. Who would have thought he was going to bring up tennis on the Roundup today? Impressive.
The Roundup, I got to keep people on their toes with the Roundup. That's my whole thing.
And you're right, by the way. We did some statistics on the Skinner and Alcaraz final the other day, and it was like Skinner is like 109-4 against people that aren't named Alcaraz, and then he's like 1-7 against Alcaraz. But it's like that's how good, you know. And they're always meeting up because they're both the two best in the sport. You know, it's funny how that happens. And then in golf, now Scotty Scheffler has kind of started to take the singular crown. But in golf, after Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, and maybe you mix in Vijay Singh and a few others, it was like a crapshoot. It was like throw a dart against a wall. This guy's the best golfer in the game right now. And then 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, Scotty Scheffler comes along and takes the #1 crown. But it's funny when the guard changes in those individual sports to see what the next guard is going to be, you know?
Yeah, and in tennis, it seems to be the exact same as what the old guard did, and they do it like generationally. It's amazing.
It's like they got something going on there. Like honestly, I'd give soccer those same kudos, man. Like there's some organizations in soccer for some of these countries where it's like we're gonna always be good because this system we got going on is way better than everyone else. You know,
no doubt. Take
Rocky's
notes.
Roundup. Give him another round, people. He deserves it.
Yeehaw!
Thank you very much. You have a fantastic rest of your Thursday.
You too. Later.
Rocky Romanella, everyone here. He joins us once a week here on the Rome Show to give us all the latest in whatever is on his mind. He is an expert on the NASCAR. Yeah, he gets all tennis too. Unbelievable, this man. That's why he joins the show once a week. Thank you for joining the show today, at least. Andrew Romanella, the leader of the Rome Show. My once a week co-host, Rocky Romanella. Thank you for joining us. Follow us on the Romanella's YouTube or the Rome Show 1 on, you guessed it, Twitter, X, and Instagram. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Enjoy your Thursday. And until then, be electric, be a good human, and spread some positivity. Andrew Romanella. Peace.
Thank you for listening.